I want to start with a little update on something we've been talking about. You know, the NIL stuff. We've talked about it now, well, probably 3 days in a row on this show. I did it pretty extensively yesterday. And I do believe that we will look back, and you know, people won't know all the behind the scenes, but I will tell you, if we in February look back and go, man, the Kentucky NIL situation has improved, you can look back on yesterday and today as the days where it happened. I'm not going to – listen, I'm sort of tired. I'm getting to the point that I'm getting old enough that I'm not going to sit and apologize before I say things. You can believe this or not, I'm not trying to do anything except tell you what's happening. But I don't think there's any doubt that the comments of the last couple of days ignited a fire, which was to be quite frank with you, was my goal. I mean, when I started saying all this, I wanted to light a fire, and it seems like it's happened. Yesterday, all the major parties that needed to be talking did that. I don't think it was Mitch Barnhart personally, but athletic department folks, football folks, collective folks, booster folks, and I think by Monday, if not sooner, the fan base will see a massive change.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great news.
We'll see the infrastructure for a massive change. I'm not going to say that, like, I'm not going to say starting Monday you're going to get 5 commitments. But the infrastructure that has not been there and the infrastructure that was lacking and a lot of the things that I was sitting there going, where is this? You're going to see it in place. And, you know, there'll be some stuff of this I can never talk about. There'll be some that I can, but I've been part of some of those conversations. And it's still not where it needs to be. It's still not, I mean, I'm still not going to say that all of a sudden, you know, we're going to see Mitch Barnhart doing videos. But I think we can say that it is moving in a positive direction. And I think not only do you don't have to take my word for it, I think you're going to see that here coming up shortly.
You know, that's all positive news. Just the fact that they're talking and you're feeling like it's going to be moving forward. I think what happened, to be honest with you, is I think this is my take on how I've read in talking to the various people. I think the athletic department believed that the NCAA was going to shut all this down. Or not shut it down, but limit it.
Get some control.
Get, like, sort of make harsher rules, be definitive. All the things that Mitch, I think, hoped would be the case, they were planning as if they would be the case. And then the NCAA did the exact opposite. And I think what that led to was not, well, we're still not going to do it, but it was just like, oh. And then just nobody moved. And I think the comments that I made starting last week, and then I think fan pressure that resulted from it, because I think a lot of people sent emails. I'm being serious. Yeah. I had one booster call me up and say, Matt, I don't know what you did. He goes, but you have created a hornet's nest. And the emails are flying. And he just laughed. But I think because fans made their voices heard, I think now there was a sense of, okay, I guess we need to move. And it's good, because I think if it had waited a couple more weeks, it would have been a problem.
Well, like we said yesterday.
Marion Brown, by the way, on TikTok last night said, I'm not going anywhere.
Which is awesome. But, you know, that December was in between the end of the regular season and the bowl games. That's where a lot of this stuff's going to happen. So they're running out of time. They've got to get something in place now.
Yes. And I, you know, we'll see. I mean, look, it's not over. But, you know, I was talking to people from the time I got off the air yesterday until last night. I know there were conversations I had no part of that were important. I think they're going to continue today. And like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. I think you are going to see as soon as tomorrow, but more likely early next week, something that showcases the sort of new at least, again, I don't think Mitch Barnhart's excited about this. I don't know that he'll ever do the things these other ADs will do, but I think he's basically resigned himself to taking some of the handcuffs off, and then other people I think now are ready to run with it. Thoughts?
I focus on what Ryan just said. What will happen in a few weeks when the season ends? Because you mentioned this yesterday. Kentucky's got some of the best, maybe even the best freshmen in the country. A lot of them, and I'll worry about losing them more than recruiting. And this stuff's right in front of us. This said, we got time. The Barron Browns, the Yankees, the Deion Walkers could pack up and leave in December if they, got an entertaining offer somewhere else. But if Kentucky can at least start showing these players we're moving in the right direction. It's not going to be here tomorrow, but we're committed to this, and this is a place where we'll make it work for you. I'll feel much better that ball is rolling now, because that, for me, it's the deadline of those freshmen, and that's around the corner.
I agree, and the transfer portal.
And the portal, yes.
I mean, look, the reality is, and there was some discussion online about there are people saying, well, the problems with this class are not because of NIL. I respect everybody's opinion. I don't think it's totally NIL. I mean, we lost some coaches that had recruited these guys, and then the coaches left, and that hurts sometimes. But it was part of it. There's no doubt that this program's always been really good at getting early commitments, and I think we didn't get them in part because we were slower than molasses this summer doing anything. Well, we got to the point where we were doing something, but it really wasn't clear and nobody understood. I think everything is going to be a lot easier. Now, if it ends up being that doesn't happen, you're going to hear me midweek next week starting this again. But I feel so much better about the situation today at 10 a.m. than I did yesterday at noon. And I think it's because we kind of got it rolling, but a lot of people took the mantle. And I'll be honest with you, I think there are people in the football department that have seen this and now are seizing the day and saying, all right, here we go. And I think the business community, boosters, I just think a lot of people, most of these people didn't even listen to me, but the storm that it sort of arose, I think has really helped.
Well, like I said earlier, that's positive that it's moving that way, because like I said yesterday, that the snowball rolling down the mountain when that kid from Birmingham decommitted, that could have been just the tip, and that ball rolls, another decommitment, Freddie Flip-Flop decommits or whoever, and it gets down to...
Did we really sign a guy, Shannon, named Freddie Flip-Flop? I mean, we should have seen that coming, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I feel like I would remember that name if that actually happened.
But I feel like when you sign Freddie Flip-Flop, you got to be ready to be disappointed in the end, don't you?
5-star Flip-Flop. Yeah, he is a hell of a player.
Consensus,
yeah.
But I feel better about it, and so we'll see what happens.
Do you think that?
Listen. I wish I could say more.
Yeah.
I'll be able to say more in a few days, and there'll be some things I just can't. And look, people can make of that whatever they want. I'm literally just trying to help. Because, look, I'm not going to get anything out of this except I want Kentucky to win, and I'm a huge fan, and just like you, I want Kentucky to win. And then also everything we do is better when Kentucky wins. This show is better. The website is better. This bar is better. Everything's better. Even OVW is better when Kentucky wins. So, of course, I want them to win. But go ahead.
Do you think that the primary focus is on football and how this is affecting football?
Yes. And I don't think it's because anybody – first of all, I don't think basketball – has integrated itself with the rest of the community on this. And that's not a criticism. I think they don't need it, and they think they can kind of do it themselves. And I think as long as Cal's here, that's probably true. When Cal leaves, that might need to change. But with Cal and the whole Cal thing and the national brand, I think they're kind of able to do it on their own. And so I think most of what you're going to see is going to be football-based, because I think basketball, it's fewer players, and I just kind of think they sort of think we don't really need the help, so we're good.
With basketball, guys are coming here to get a max deal in the NBA. They're not going to go to somewhere else for $100,000 to a school where that's not going to keep them.
And they'll get $100,000.
Yeah, they're going to make their money if they come to Kentucky and just follow the path that somebody.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, listen, if those guys wanted $1 million, they would have gone and signed with overtime. Yeah. I mean, they're coming here to sort of go through the progression of the NBA. I agree, but I also think they're going to make money. I mean, I think where basketball is going to need NIL deals are the Oscar situations. A guy who maybe isn't the NBA guy. It's for E.J. Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
It's for Jared Vanderbilt, although he's ended up having a good NBA career. But it's for guys like that,
Yeah.
Ryan. That's when the UK will need it. It's really not for Case and Wallace. He ain't worried about it, you know?
He's not going to a school that's dropping a bag just to get him to go play there when it could completely derail the path his career's on to the
Yes.
NBA.
And we got to see the good of it with Oscar, this summer when he finally got to do some things and take advantage of the NIL situation.
So I'm much more positive, and I just wanted to let folks know
That's
that.
good. That's good to hear.
502-571-1080.